Welcome back to News 46. The United States spends more per capita on health care and prescription drugs than any other country. Using generic instead of brand name medications is one way to decrease costs. A new study examined whether therapeutic substitution, another way to lower drug costs, could also save money on prescription medications.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
This pharmacy is filled with thousands of different medications. Some are brand name, some are generic, and some can be used in a process known as therapeutic substitution.
This is theoretically different than generic drugs. Generic drug substitution is substitution of the exact same drug. Therapeutic substitution is the use of a similar but not the same drug within a drug class.
Dr. Michael Johansson from The Ohio State University, along with his colleague, reviewed the records of more than 107,000 patients between 2010 and 2012. They looked at prescription drug use and estimated how much money could be saved using therapeutic substitution.
There were 26 included drug classes that spanned cardiovascular health, mental health, allergies, urology, and many other aspects of medicine. 62% of people in the United States used prescription drugs. Around 1/3 of people took a drug from the included classes. In total, $73 billion over 3 years, or nearly 1 out of every $10 spent on prescription drugs, could have been saved with therapeutic substitution. Importantly, the consumer paid just over 1/3, or $24.6 billion, of the total $73 billion that could have been saved.
Dr. Johansson says that therapeutic substitution is somewhat controversial because it could impede decisions about medications that are made between doctors and patients.
There's tremendous potential savings from undertaking of therapeutic substitution on a large scale. However, therapeutic substitution is controversial. It needs to be done in a respectful manner of patients' health, because that's really what we're here for, is to try to make patients healthier.
Catherine Dolf, The JAMA Report.
Study authors say that the number of drug classes that could be included in therapeutic substitution is wide-ranging.
All right, today our news team stopped by Great Basin College to visit the nursing program's classroom. The first class held here in Pahrump will be graduating soon.
It's a 2-year ADN program. These guys will graduate and get their RN 2 years. The first group in 2017 in the spring.
They have nursing programs up in Elko at the Great Basin College, right?
They do, and this is part of that. So they all go to class with the nursing cohort in Elko, and they meet on interactive video, and then I do the clinical part with them live.
Tell me a little bit about the hands-on experience that they're getting here.
Okay, we have a great lab. We're really, really lucky to have, well, it's not luck, it's hard work of the dean and the faculty up north in Elko to have a state-of-the-art lab. We have the best equipment, simulation mannequins, high fidelity, just like the military actually has. So everything that we need is here in the hospital, and other associations we have in town have been very, very generous with helping us get set up.
And so I know you're looking forward to that first class. That's going to be a big milestone for us here locally. These students, what are they going through? What's some of the requirements for nursing?
Well, it's a very rigorous program. There's a couple years of prerequisites just to get into the nursing program, including biology, of course, the sciences, some math, and general education requirements, an entrance exam that covers all that general education as well. And then once they get into the program, it's 2 years full-time. It's pretty, like I said, rigorous with clinical assignments and the didactic that's here.
What is the rate of these students getting into jobs?
Well, Great Basin has an outstanding record of 100% employability, and also for the past 4 years, all of our graduates have passed the NCLEX, the boards, the nursing boards, the first time. So that's the best record in Nevada.
It was exciting because I'm from Winnemucca, Nevada, so the opportunity to be at 3 different locations makes it, accessible for everybody, not just, people in those different areas. Then they gave me the opportunity to come to Pahrump, and so I moved my travel trailer down here, and that's why I'm here.
How do you like the classes?
I love the classes. They're really interactive, and although they're difficult, they're fun, and you learn a lot.
So what's some of the things that you really stands out that you guys are learning right now?
Just the material itself. I mean, it's pretty in depth. Her and I are both, past CNAs, and so it kind of relates to what we've done before to a certain extent, and then it helps us realize, certain things that we had seen in our past that I was like, oh, I remember this, and it kind of helps with those classes and kind of correlating the two, together to help you kind of get a clear understanding.
Lawmakers may be looking at limiting water usage on new wells being drilled in the valley. Now, what does that actually mean? Dan Shinhoffen spoke to us about the concern by residents and how metering your well may help, according to the commissioner.
There's a subcommittee out of the state that's looking at ways to deal with critical basins and basins that are over-appropriated. We're over-appropriated, we're not critical. The one in Elko is over-appropriated. They've got a 30,000 recharge and they're pumping 90,000, and they're all farmers. They're using their water, so they got a real issue to deal with. We know there's a train wreck coming down the road. If every water right was used in this valley, if every domestic well pumped 2 acre-feet, we would be well over our recharge. One of the things out of that subcommittee was to limit new, let me stress that again, new domestic wells to a 1/2 acre-foot. That's made it through that subcommittee. Now it has to go to a full committee and has to make it through that, and then it would make it to the state assembly. So when you get the emails that say this is your last chance, they're going to come cap your wells, it's a long ways going if they do pass that, and that is new domestic wells. We're left alone. There's provisions in there. If you're a current domestic well owner and you have to deepen or rehab or drill a new well, that is not considered a new well. It is because you were grandfathered in. And now then the people will say, oh, well, that's just a camel nose under the tent. And you can live in that state of fear if you want. I can only deal with what's in front of me. So you have water rights and you have a domestic well right. They're both rights. I'm a domestic well owner. 2 of my children are domestic well owners. All 5 of the commissioners are domestic well owners. So the idea that nobody's looking out for your domestic well is just, I can't say that word, nonsense. We are. But I cannot take my personal right and hold it over the head of the water rights holders, because those are rights too. They have a right to pump water. We need to find a way to get the numbers down, and we need to do it in conjunction. We can't say take their rights to protect my right. And I'm one of those that you want to protect the rights of. So.
What do you think that the average well is pumping, and what do they use?
Well, we don't have enough people who signed on, and we still have a plan with the Water District Governing Board. I signed up 4 years ago. They put a meter on my well, and I've been reading it regularly over 4 years, and I use a 1/2 acre-foot. I have 20 trees. I have 3 dogs. I use a lot. My wife and I are the only ones in the home, but my 4 grandkids are there every day. So I think we're pretty representative. We could use more people. Go call the water district, tell them you want your well metered. I was told when I did that I was stupid, because now they could come meter it and charge me. And I'm not stupid, because I know how you use pipe wrenches. I could take it off and throw it over the fence. So we need data. We need more data to actually know what they're using. We know people who are hooked up to municipal water systems or private water systems use about a 1/2 acre-foot a year and less.
When we come back, Edward Snowden is requesting a pardon from the president. Stick with us.